Well, good afternoon my YouTube friends, it's Margaret here and I'm up in the south facing bedroom, and as you can see from the windows we have rain, and there's the garden, you see. So why am I on the windowsill? Well, this is the and we're not very good light. Just let me put the light on. I don't think that made any difference, but you might just see a bit of a glow. So this is where the dendrobiums, well, some of the dendrobiums are sitting. This is a Dendrobium kingianum, and we've got that nice growth coming there. And this hasn't been watered. It will get watered, but because it's sat here in the south-facing windowsill and we always have this window open, watering will be reduced during the winter period. This is the Pleurophthalus, that's here, and that has been watered, but it won't get watered all that often. And here we go. This is Dendrobium Kingzip Red Splash. This is up here for the duration of the winter. It's been outside, so it's got a little bit of sunburn, but never mind. And that will need watering, but not a lot. And this is the big Dendrobium thysiflorum. And these are all in inorganic media. This will stay here for the duration. Nice roots. That's been watered and won't get watered very often now. Just for comparison, that's the back garden now. You'll see the table and chairs have been brought in. Let's see if I can take you a little bit closer. There we go. You can see it's raining. And although we've got the agapanthus there, that's not been brought in yet. We've still got roses. Some of the dahlias are still outside. Sunflowers. And that nice area at the back. But otherwise, he's been closing everything down. And you might think, well, it's a little bit early, you know, we're only in October, but the weather is changing rapidly, and there's nothing worse than trying to garden when everything's cold and wet. So there's little Berryoda, again in inorganic media, and this is the side east. Sorry, not east. This is the westerly side. So it'll get sunshine, but it's I've not found a spot for this one yet. So we're in the grow room now. 12:47, 12.3 C outside, and it went down last night to 8 C. At the moment we're 20.6 with 70% humidity. And see, we still have things in bloom. Little cluster here. The Barker here, Melancholy. These are the little dishes. You see, that's where. I'll show you down there, they're in the water. Two of the bulbophyllums are sitting. This one here, this has been in the window when it's sunny. Brassocatlianthe fire star, but I've just put it up here for the moment, and we've got 5 of these. So 2 are going to be of occupants of the bulbophyllums. I'm not sure about the other 2 at the back. And it's time today to water the frags, and that's Richterii. This is that nice big Dendrobium Gatton Sunray with that new growth there. That was watered yesterday. A couple of the vandas here, and you'll notice over here I've got a trough of water. Well, I'll keep my eye on that, check the TDS, and that's where sometimes I just bob some of the vandas in. There we are. They look terrible, those leaves, don't they? But thankfully the newest leaves are coming out fine, so I'll just have to get these through the winter. And you might think, well, that's easy. No, it isn't, not here, not for me. I mean, I've always got high humidity. I mean, the light's shining on here, the full spectrum light. So the temperatures are always warm, but the nights go down very cold. And there's the Dendrobium delicatum. I did split it in two. I brought it out of that big dish because I need that big dish, well, outside pot to put the hyacinths in. So these two got split, and one's been put in here and the other one in here. And these are still hanging. That's the Sedaria japonica. That is Dendrobium Friedrichs. No, Dendrobium. Goldsmithianum that I'm bringing back from the brink, and of course good old faithful, and it keeps growing and growing and growing. And that's Coleogyne berthardiense. That's the Orchids falcata there. Oh, and look, the leaf is falling here, and that's, can I just lift it down? Because this is very unusual, and it's a species one, of course, and it's a Phalaenopsis. Phalaenopsis, let me just turn the label around. Finlay, sin minus Phalaenopsis stewartiana. And because it's deciduous, it can drop its leaves, and it's dropping that leaf. But it gave me this new leaf. There. And although I'll keep this watered during the winter, I still have to be very, very careful with it. It's lovely, that one is. And a step up on my step. There, you see. That is a new growth on the castle, Love Castle, that one. And this is the little bat bulb. Now you see, I watered that, not yesterday but the day before, and that's still damp, that moss. So that's why I say I have to be very, very careful. Especially as this one hangs in the window, and that window is always open. So, there we go. And you won't see the light. The light's not very good. Let's turn this fan off. Forgot about that. Let me just turn the light off here. And you'll see the difference. And you see, I mean, there is light, don't get me wrong, but it's not growing light. I couldn't, I'd have difficulty growing these orchids without any artificial light. This one, of course, is 24K. The label's there. that sheath I'm sure is empty. And the Tolumnias, when it's a very hot sunny day, because they've had a lot of sunlight, I just move them back a little bit. There's that inflorescence developing on the catasetum. Good old faithful Walkeriana. Can you see the difference now? Can you see how the windows are steaming up? So that means the humidity will go up. So as the humidity goes up, I mean, they respond, the orchids love it. But come the night time, and we're getting down to temperatures of 8C, I know that's outside, but our central heating comes on at 15C. And this morning the central heating was on before we got up. So it just shows you how cold it went down. That's the LC Bermondsey palm. I've put the Psychopsis mariposa over here. It's getting sunlight, not sunlight, but artificial light. I checked it yesterday, and that new leaf it's got some beautiful mottling. And I was watching the channel Saga, S-A-G-A, and he'd repotted 2 of his Stanopias, and I did like the method he used. It's inorganic because that's what he likes to use, and he used a glass vase. He used these little things to pull up. And what I've done with this chisis, and you see, I put it in this vase here, and I've got a wicking going down into that water level. So that's going to be, and I do believe those bulbs are plumping up. So I'm quite pleased with that. And when this fan's on, of course, it's getting a good air movement. And I'm really chuffed with that. Vanda Peaches, I've just moved over here. And of course, this is Cattleya persivaliana. And that one doesn't seem to be doing too well. That's Epicattleya. But otherwise, these were all watered yesterday. What I have to do is I have to water quite early now, because I have to have everything by evening drying out very quickly. I've got one of these wrong. You see that one there? It's too close. It's too close to this one. And that one's got lots of room, so that one's going over there. And maybe this one has to come down and pull round this way. And then, there we go. There we go, you see? I've got a couple of the Vandas underneath there. They were watered yesterday as well. And these are some of the Phalaenopsis, the no ID ones. If I go down here, on this bottom layer we've got the Angraecum sesquipedale, and that's got a new root coming out, so I'm quite chuffed with that one. These are some of the Pathiopedilums. This one, where is it now? This one. And this one's only in a small little solo cup. And look. So that got watered yesterday. And but I don't like to leave it too wet. So it sits. There's a little dome down there. And I can fill, that sits on the dome, and I can fill the little reservoir around it, so it keeps it humid, but it doesn't allow it to be wet through. That's one of the little Phalaenopsis there. And of course these are some of the frags now. The frags are going into the bathroom this is the one that had those leaves all dying back, and I wondered what these were, and I thought, well, I wonder if they're roots, but I'm not so sure that's a root. I'm not so sure. Anyway, these are going to be lifted to the bathroom for their watering. These are the 2 bulbophyllums that I've got down here, and they're getting a good soak. And there we go, you see. These, just let me get on. These are all the ones in the little tiny pots, and they were watered yesterday. They look quite dry, and the good thing about this cork bark is that as soon as I put them in this little trough here, and it allows them to soak up, and then if and it rises quite deeply when I put it in, so it absorbs a certain amount of moisture, and if need be I just pour a little bit of water over the top of these roots, but within a very short space of time these are all drying out, which I need them to do, of course, because of the cold nights. And there's a couple of the Stellas here, that one, this is that no ID. Which one's this one? I think that's a Dendrobium Kingianum Ellen, that one. That's the species one, but I'm not sure whether I'm right. Fimbriatum for oculatum, that's been watered, and of course we've got some that are mounted here. Still got lots of flowers coming on these little Scaphoglottis. But you see, these weren't watered yesterday. Now normally I would water them every other day, but if I've gone and to 3 o'clock in the afternoon, then I won't attempt to water past 3 o'clock, because that just means that all these will just remain wet, and we don't want them to remain wet and cold during the night. So there we go, and let's take you downstairs now. I'll show you where some of the others are. So what I'm going to do first of all is switch this light back on. There we go. Switch the fan back on. There we go. There's, oh, let's just go under here if I can. There's one of the Catasetums. That's Catasetum Davy Ranches. That's got 1 leaf left now, so that's in this corner and won't be touched until springtime. There we have the Zygopedilum McKay. Let me see that one there. And this is the Galliopetalum Princess Aurora. That's the other one, like a zygo type. They're just tucked at the back, and of course these are the other frags and the bottom shelf. I've got one of the terrariums downstairs, and I'll check some of these others. Shortly, because some of these will want watering, so bear with me. Apologies for the noise, but we've got the washing machine on, and this is the Masdevallia ignea. I did actually just place this outside this morning, and it just wet the top of those roots, otherwise these will have to be watered very, very carefully. Now we've got this amaryllis. Had it a couple of years now. It's never bloomed for us, but I'm hopeful. That's coming from outside. And this is Vicciana. You'll see where the roots are a little bit green there, where that's been outside. And of course that's one of the Hoyas that are really upset by taking it outside and it getting it too hot. But fortunately it's sending back new leaves, and there's the other one, you've seen that. And this is Bonplondii. That's been outside. Still one or two leaves that have got to be cut off. So underneath this potting bench you can see the 3 of the cymbidiums, so they're not getting wet through, but they're still outside, and it's raining now. And if we look, that's the cold frame, and those plants are covered up because I don't want them getting overly wet. Unfortunately the wind is blowing and it's raining, and we're not inclined to venture out. So thank you for joining me. I'm going to go inside, and I've got the hyacinths to pot up. So from me to you, take care. Thank you for joining me. Bye bye now.